Well, after a 5-year hiatus, the Bristol derby is back. And a sellout crowd at Ashton Gate has certainly given the two teams a vociferous welcome as they run out onto the pitch. Well, to the supporters, tonight's derby will be seen as the chance to prove who's the best team in Bristol, certainly over the two legs of this Johnston's Paint Trophy Southern Area Final. But both managers will have their eye on a bigger prize, and that's the chance to play in a showpiece final against Doncaster Rovers at Cardiff's Millennium Stadium on Sunday the 1st of April. Well, Bristol City make 4 changes to the side who beat Blackpool at the weekend 1-0. A few of them are enforced. They have Alex Russell, Jamie McComb, Enoch Sharamli out injured. Kevin Betsy and Brian Wilson are cup-tied, and Jamie McAllister is suspended, so quite a few players out for the home side. The four-tie team for Bristol City tonight: number 1, Adriano Basso; number 2, Bradley Orr; number 16, Richard Keogh; number 6, Lewis Carey; number 4, Liam Fontaine; and 3, Craig Woodman. David Noble, Lee Johnson, Scott Murray feature in midfield with Steve Brooker and Rain Andrews up front. Rovers make no changes to the side who drew 1-1 at home to MK Dons. Their team is as follows: Steve Phillips, who makes a return to Ashton Gate. In the Rovers goal, Aaron Lescott, Craig Hinton, Steve Elliott, Chris Carruthers in defence, Sammy Igo, Stuart Campbell, Craig Disley and Lewis Haldane in midfield, with Ricky Lambert and Richard Walker up front. On the bench for them, Sam Oji, Andy Sandell, Stuart Nicholson, Chris Lyons and Mike Green. Whereas Rovers will be kicking off in their traditional blue and white ported shirts, a slightly lighter shade of blue this season. And we're off then. The first competitive Bristol derby for 5 years. The 102nd such derby between the two sides, if you discount County Cup and friendly matches. And this is anything but a friendly. Bradley Orr to take the throw in front of the away dugout. Brendan Mitchell is alongside me.
It's an amazing atmosphere, isn't it, inside this ground? It's the game we've been waiting for a couple of months, and it's going to be a fiercely contested couple of games, but there's plenty of good football to be played by both these sides, and I think all of us just can't wait to really get into the meat of the game and enjoy this wonderful local derby that we've been treated to.
There's early free kick for Bristol Rovers. Chris Carruthers will be behind this one, the left back. And here we are. You can see City's formation. Looks like Scott Murray's playing in front of a 2-man midfield. And the hole behind the two strikers, Steve Brooker and Rain Andrews, who scored on Saturday. There's an early test for Lewis Carey. Walker knocks it back to Lambert. Also, Rovers have picked up a few clean sheets since the arrival of Steve Phillips. Only 3 other teams in League 2 have kept 3 more blanks. They've also yet to concede a goal in this competition this season in 4 matches.
Some record, isn't it?
Ball into Walker. Murray gets it clear to Orr. It's Disley battling Booker for possession. He gives away a free kick. Keogh plays it long, looking for Brooker. He's been marshalled by Steve Elliott, who returned to the side on Saturday after an absence through injury. It'll be Steve Phillips to take the free kick. Not the best of receptions on his return to Ashton Gate, the man who left in his testimonial year. Fontaine gets it clear for the home side. Rovers miscues his clearance, so that'll be a throw for City. Bradley Orr picking up the ball alongside Paul Trollope.
I think the most important thing for the home side as well is to stamp their quality on the game, and obviously it was always going to be a hustle and bustle start, and it's been pretty scrappy so far, but it's important that the home side try and get the ball down and play the football we know they're capable of, because if anything's going to separate these two teams, it's that quality that they have.
Here's Lescott. Long ball forward, looking for Walker.
I think it's vital with the shape they're playing that Orr and Woodman get forward at every opportunity and try and provide that width, because certainly Rovers look stretched there where City shuffle the ball across through Noble and Murray, and I think it's key that Orr and Woodman do get down those flanks and try and press the Rovers fullbacks as much as possible, and certainly it looks like they're going to try and do that early on. Carey and Keogh, who are pretty strong, upper body strength, they're pretty good in the air themselves. They need to try and win that first header as much as possible this evening.
Cross comes in. It was Disley that was underneath it. Keogh clears. City still haven't got it clear. And the shot comes in from Lambert, and that's closer than his earlier effort. And Rovers making all the running really in this early stages of the first leg of this Bristol derby.
And full credit to them as well, because they've certainly come to attack and have a go at the home side, and certainly showing quality there in and around the area.
Here's Murray. Noble out to Fontaine, one of three centre-backs this evening. Woodman. And Woodman bombs forward on the left. Here's Andrews, and an important interception by Phillips. The first time he's really been called into action this evening in the 14th minute, 0-0.
That's the best move of the game as well. That's what City can do. They really stretched them, and it was Woodman getting wide down that left position. It was a nice 1-2 with Noble, and it was a really delightful cross just across the face of goal, but Phillips was alert to it and did well to come and gather. But it's the best move of the game from City, and it did cause a real problem.
Lescott plays it up front to Walker, and again Rovers coming forward through Carruthers on this left hand side. Here's Disley to Campbell. And Rovers knocking it around nicely at the moment in City's own half. Lescott. There's the big front man Lambert. Igo comes into play now, and the cross is tipped too long. And a neat bit of build-up play there by the visitors. Long ball forward, which Carruthers had to chase back in the end. Keogh taking the full brunt of his clearance. Carruthers dealt with it, so Andrews has body charged him out the way, setting up a City attack. Brooker's in the box, and Phillips again gets two pair of hands to it when Brooker was well placed at the far post. Woodman. Murray. Here's Brooker. Looking for Andrews, and that's an important interception by Elliott in the Rovers defence. So they come again through Noble. Gets away from Campbell, the Rovers skipper. Woodman with a cross. And Phillips holding on to that well. Andrews. Woodman on the left. Johnson. It was a positive idea from City, but here's Bristol Rovers surging forward through Disley. And he cuts through the gap between Orr and Woodman. Here's Lambert. Back to Haldane. A crunching challenge that by Keogh. That's a derby challenge that. Noble to Brooker. To Andrews. Plays across, and Murray waiting in a 6-yard box. And again, City starting to open up the Rovers defence. No end result as yet. Here's Haldane. He gets in his cross, and Basso holds onto it well. Rovers have men forward. A little sign there that Rovers are capable of building attacks of their own and getting past the final man. Nothing subdued about that attack, but it may have something to do, we start this game, to the fact that it is 2 legs. Plenty of time left in the tie. And perhaps no one wanted to go gung-ho right at the start. Murray making his 406th appearance for the club this evening, ending in disappointment, and yet another injury for the management team to consider. Cole Skuse, his replacement.
City will be a touch disappointed with the first half performance, to be honest. They haven't quite got going, and remember they had one good move down that left-hand side with Noble and Woodman, and it was unlucky. Phillips gathered well, but it's really as close as City have come, not really to necessarily testing Phillips, but just to playing the sort of football they can and getting around Rovers. And could be frustrated, Gary Johnson, in the changing room at half-time, because he knows his team can play a lot better. Equally, Paul Trollope will be pretty delighted with his team's performance. They came out of the blocks, they had a really good first 10 minutes. Since then they've been nothing more than solid. They haven't really offered a great deal going forward, but it's been a good effort from the away side. They've certainly more than matched their counterparts.
Only as far as Johnson. Here's Bradley Orr battling away with Lewis Haldane. The throw-in conceded by the Rovers player. Paul Trollope, the Rovers coach, is suggesting there's a bit of foul play there by the City player.
I think the referee's done pretty well, actually. I mean, it hasn't been the hardest of derbies for him to referee on so far, but I think he's tried to let it flow.
Disley set up. That's Carey to beat. And to immense amusement, looks a complete hash of it. And that is the half-time whistle. Not much to talk about in front of goal. And the score at half-time, City 0, Rovers 0. Well, both teams back out for the second half, and yet to see this derby tie take off to match the atmosphere off the pitch, but plenty to play for in his final 45 minutes. Lee Johnson plays it long. Rovers soon intercept. And what do you think has been going on in the City dressing room at half-time, Brendan?
I imagine there's been a couple of choice words, but at the same time I think Gary Johnson will just be urging his team to keep the ball better and be more direct in the way they're playing, rather than, I don't mean that in playing long ball necessarily, but just be more attacking and more adventurous in possession. And I don't think City have played quite as well as they would have hoped.
Haldane breaks away for Rovers, and a good challenge here by Richard Keogh, City defender. They've had to be on their toes in the first half, the City defence. Certainly Rovers, especially down that left-hand side through Lewis Haldane, have caused them a couple of problems. Here's Carruthers. Keogh there again. Well, Walker trying to spread the ball wide and was caught late. And this is a free kick in a very dangerous position for the visitors. Well, it's Campbell, and it's just wide of Basso's right-hand post. The Rovers skipper giving a good sight of goal. A collision between Andrews and the Rovers player who's still down on that far side in front of the Dolman stand. Physio being called on.
In fairness to the referee, I think he set the benchmark with the booking of the player earlier on for that foul on Murray, and to be honest, that was probably the same kind of challenge from Andrews there. I think the referee's just trying to be consistent, and if anything else, and probably was a yellow card. It was a bit late.
Certainly, he's not endearing into the home crowd, who would just want things to be moved on quicker. David Noble having his say as well. Oh, it's Igo who's taking it on for Rovers. Gets a cross in, and that's a fine attempt at goal off the head.
I think they've been pretty impressed with them, to be honest. Not as much as anything else, just their ball retention. I think they've kept the ball quite well for a team in the lowest of the football leagues. They've just held the ball quite well.
Here's Lambert trying to set up Haldane. That's a good interception by who else but Richard Keogh, who's been outstanding in City's defence recently. Here's Lee Johnson. Plays it forward to Brooker, intercepted by Samiago. And the first missed kick of the day by Steve Phillips, and ironic cheer from the home crowd. The former City keeper Keogh trying to skew the cross into the box, and offside against Richard Walker. Second chance here by Keogh, who's arguably the most competitive City player so far. Here's Andrews. Only parried by Phillips, and Brooker puts it wide with the goal gaping.
Well, it was a wonderful chance for Steve Brooker, and I'm not sure he'll get a better chance than that. It was good play from Andrews, found himself in a ludicrous amount of space in the area. Really, it was a good shot. Phillips did well to parry it away, but straight to the feet of Brooker, who fired over when he really should have nestled the ball into the back of the net. But the first real good chance going to City.
Phillips with a goal kick. Well, it certainly was the best chance of the game. But here's Disley for Bristol Rovers, and hits it wide when well placed, and suddenly the game opening up at both ends.
He found himself in absolute acres, Craig Disley, bursting from midfield, and really I thought he took it too early. He had a fair bit of space to run into, and he seemed to hit it early, good 20-25 yards out, and for a second it looked as though Basso was beaten for the bottom corner, but City with a let-off.
So the 64th minute of the game, producing two chances. Here's Fontaine. Noble over the top to Brooker. Brings it down well, hits the post. Tremendous effort from the City number 9. This is Rovers on the break. Sammy Igo battling for possession, and Lewis Carey, who wins the ball for City and the free kick. Paul Trollope not happy with that decision. Certainly a very passionate figure on that technical area is Paul Trollope. And given away by David Noble. A speculative shot in the end by Walker, trying to catch Basso off his line, and that's a bit over-ambitious in the end.
Completely uncharacteristic from David Noble. One of the main points of his game, certainly in the last couple of games since he's come into the City side, is his ability just to not give the ball away and give it to Richard Walker on a play to perhaps knew he didn't have the pace to take him clear of the City defence, and just shot early instead, and Basso had it well covered.
Mescott with the throw. Igo. And headed clear by Fontaine, and the shot comes back past Basso. Brooker collects the ball, but robbed quickly by Campbell, who's been impressive in midfield for Bristol Rovers. Skips past Fontaine and checked by Johnson, who concedes the free kick. And Campbell stays on. Looks to be in a little bit of discomfort. Hammered his fist on the ground when he was caught. Here's Fontaine, and does well to recover. And Igo snapping at his heels. Here's Noble. Neat play by him, finds Skuse. The cross comes in, looking for Brooker. An important header, that one, by Hinton. It looks as though we're going to see the introduction of Stuart Nicholson. Now, he certainly fancies himself to score. He's going to come on for Richard Walker, the Rovers leading scorer. He's hit 4 goals in 14 loan games from West Bromwich Albion as Stuart Nicholson. And the stage is certainly set for him now with 17 minutes remaining. And Rovers will be making another introduction. Andy Sandell, who was once on City's books as a youngster. And he'll be replacing Lewis Haldane, who hasn't really threatened since the bright first half. Skuse chips it forward to Brooker. Makes space well and charged down by Disley. Referee Kevin Wright plays on, much to the consternation of the City players. And then awards a free kick at the other end for much the same challenge by Richard Keogh.
I don't see any difference whatsoever in those 2 challenges. Brooker clearly span away from his man. He'd found himself a little bit of space and he was just completely wiped out. And the referee's right to give the free kick for Rovers, but surely if the challenge, there was hardly any difference between the 2, and complete lack of consistency from the referee.
Or the cross, looking for Brooker. And again, some good defending from Rovers. Hinton standing strong to get the header away. Here's Lescott on the break. Skips past Fontaine. Jevons has run back to cover. Now Lescott would take the throw. Less than 3 minutes remaining. And Igo gets in the cross, and that's hit well behind goal, and there'll be a goal kick for the home side.
It's a shame for Igo as well, because it was a lovely little trick. I think he nutmegged his man and got to the byline. It's a decent chance to deliver some quality, and there may be one last bit of quality left in one of these teams to just take an advantage into the second leg. And
well, here's Nicholson, the loan signing from West Brom, trying to get away from Carey, and is again playing for the free kick, one says. But Fontaine taking his time with the clearance, wins a throw in the process. And Skuse robs the ball from Igo. Plays it towards Jevons. Well, there's some grandstand finishes to derby matches over the years, and we're yet to see one. And it's the opposition, the away side, who come away with the ball here. Here's Lescott. His ball forward, cut out by Carey. Bradley Orr for Bristol City. Brooker battles away with Campbell, who's done a very fine job for Rovers in midfield. And a snapshot at the end by Sandell. It's looking to end the match in spectacular fashion over the bar. And could that be the final effort of the evening? Basso will take this goal kick quickly. But could Rovers have done the job they set out to do and shut out this City attack for their 5th successive clean sheet in this competition. And so to Skuse, Johnson, and here's Igo for Rovers. Campbell, he moves it downfield well, does the Rovers skipper. He's given space here, but Kieran Johnson quickly closing him down. Disley picks up play. Campbell again. He's been the standout performer along with his back two for Bristol Rovers. Here's Disley. Now the cross comes in, but straight to Richard Keogh. Have the home side got time to launch an attack of their own. Here's Murray Williams. And there is the final whistle, and Bristol Rovers have kept their 5th successive clean sheet in the Johnson's Paint Trophy so far this season. They've held City to a 0-0 draw, setting up what should be an intriguing second leg encounter at the Memorial Stadium. Steve Brooker going closest for both sides, hitting the post in the 64th minute of the game. But in the end, the match highly anticipated for several weeks, ends goalless. City 0, Rovers 0.